Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA. As communities in the oil-rich Niger Delta region continue to grapple with numerous challenges that make life increasingly difficult, community leaders, youth and women leaders, along with policy experts in the region, are calling on President Bola Tinubu's government to dismantle all existing barriers to sustainable development in the nation's treasure belt. These stakeholders want the federal government to further strengthen the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, to coordinate development efforts across the region.
In July this year, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), which is Nigeria's foremost interventionist agency, convened a gathering of around 1,000 stakeholders from the region. The meeting brought together community leaders, youth and women leaders, policy experts and representatives from state governments in the Niger Delta region. The sole purpose was to develop a clear pathway for sustainable development in the oil-rich region, as well as to align the needs of the people with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. A critical segment of the event was the technical session, where participants from diverse backgrounds took part in a comprehensive assessment of the current situation of things across various sectors in the region.
Until the data that we have is both qualitative and quantitative, it cannot be called a plan. And if we do not consider both the cosmopolitan areas and the rural areas, the peculiarities of these different areas, we're not likely to make any headway.
The fact that there is economic exclusion has led to joblessness among most of our teeming youths, and that has further pushed them into crime.
The challenges in the Niger Delta are indeed towering, but certainly not insurmountable. This situation presents an urgent need for coordinated and organized efforts to change the ugly and troubling narrative holding the people back. Stakeholders believe that the NDDC could significantly scale up its impact with additional resources and strategic policy adjustments from the federal government.
Now that the NDDC budget is dwindling, we must encourage the NDDC. We must persuade our president to help to get other nations to set up a Niger Delta Development Bank. This will be an infrastructural development bank owned by nations so that other governments can invest in it.
NDDC as an interventionist agency is supposed to put in place structures to reduce poverty and not to increase poverty. We should be talking about how to convert the resources we are wasting into useful resources. That's one. The other thing is we should be thinking about mobility within the region. Regional cooperation will be key driving this process.
We have so much program, human capacity programs, which they have been engaging. We have economic empowerment. And this is one thing that we must really look into. Tourism, it's much in our land. If we can enhance tourism, we can drag international personalities, and Niger Delta will become one of the hubs for tourists to come.
Recognizing the scale of the challenge, Governing Board Chairman of the Interventionist Agency, Mr. Chiedu Ebie, told Inside the Niger Delta that the current leadership of the Commission is fully prepared to tackle the challenges in the region, including poverty and improvement of the living condition of its peoples.
I want to be remembered for the positives that we do and not the negatives. So I think we're going to try. We need the support and collaboration of everybody. We like constructive criticism, and we'll do the work.
While it is true that the Commission has in the past fallen short of the expectations of the people in the region, it is also true that there is now clearly a ray of hope on the horizon, as the current board and management are retooling the Commission's internal governance structures and adopting a bottom-up approach to engaging the people at the center of its service delivery.
Inside the Niger Delta.
In recognition of the commendable strides made by the current board and management of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) in completing previously abandoned projects, residents of AKUGHA and Oguta local government areas in Imo State are calling for similar efforts to be extended to their communities. The residents who are concerned about the state of unfinished projects in their communities believe that the intervention of the NDDC in completing these projects will have far-reaching impact on their lives and livelihoods.
Following the conclusion of a forensic audit on projects of the NDDC in 2021, the then Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, revealed that about 13,000 Niger Delta Development Commission's projects across various stages of completion were abandoned across the region. Completing these abandoned projects has since become the central focus of the almost one-year-old current NDDC leadership under the guidance of Governing Board Chairman Mr. Chiedu Ebie and Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Samuel Oboko. In keeping with this mandate, they have completed several abandoned projects in the last 1 year, including the electricity substation in Okitipupa, Ondo State, which now serves electricity to over 200 communities, the Ogbe-Anembe Road in Bayelsa State, and the Ibuno Bridge and Road in Akwa Ibom State, among others. To continue in this trajectory, the NDDC proposed a 1.911 trillion naira budget for the 2024 fiscal year, with a staggering 1 trillion naira earmarked for the delivery of critical projects across the length and breadth of the region. This commitment has reignited hope among residents, many of whom are now calling on the Commission to prioritize their communities as they work to finish these long overdue projects. One such project is the Ahoda Omok Egbema Oguta Road. While the River State section has been completed, the Imo State section starting from Abezi Egbema in Ohaji Egbema local government area remains unfinished. During a recent visit to the palace of His Royal Majesty Eze Steve Ugo Zeobi II of Egbema, the monarch and community members urged the NDDC to revisit this critical road connecting rivers to Imo State.
We are suffering. So far, the people have no commensurate benefit from what this country is gaining from the community. It is important for NDDC to send down their engineers to look into these roads and complete it.
If this road is fixed by NDDC, definitely it will help the people more than enough to go to the township, being Owerri. Today, as of today, it takes about 2-3 hours to get to Owerri, whereas something 30 minutes can overcome. It looks bad.
The road that leads from abandoned River State down to Oguta is a death trap. It's a dead zone. We don't have road. Call of NDDC all processors that are concerned to help us fix all these things in our place. We need a double lane road so that at least let there be life in this community.
Community dwellers along Ukuba Etekuru Shell Location Road in Ohaji, Egbema local government area have also called for urgent intervention on the failed sections of their road.
This road has been awarded so many years ago, over 15 years ago. And if you can go to the boundary between Imo State and the River State, if you go there, you can see there's life there. They have double lanes built to the point of Imo State. Would they come from a different country?
We have been stronging. We have Shell. We have many companies, but they're not helping matters. Then we need help from NDDC to help us because we women, we are suffering. During the time of farm, we don't see road.
In Etekuru community, also in Ohaji, Egbema local government area, the Etekuru Umuoji Link Road, awarded for construction many years ago by the intervention agency, remains incomplete, mirroring the similar challenges in Nnebuku Egwe community, where an interstate bridge project connecting Rivers State to Uguta in Imo and Anambra State is still unfinished.
They started the bridge in 2010 until eventually 2012 there was a very big flood. They did the piling, remaining about a few feet to the other side before the flood started.
If this bridge now is fixed, the life will be more better than it is now. So it is very important for the NDDC to come and fix it for us so that we can have a chance to go and come back and everywhere will be lively.
Despite these delays, the people are optimistic that the current NDDC leadership will change the narrative, addressing their concerns and ensuring that the era of abandoned projects in the region comes to an end.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State has warned that his administration will not tolerate substandard work from any contractor. He emphasized that any site engineer who compromises on project delivery will face the full wrath of the law. Governor Oborevwori gave the warning last week while inspecting the ongoing Trans-Warri Ode-Shekiri Bridges and Access Roads project in Warri South local government area of the state.
In 2006, during the administration of Chief James Onanefe Ibori as governor of Delta State, the contract for the Trans-Warri Ode-Shekiri Bridges and Access Roads project was awarded at a cost of 25 billion naira. The project, spanning over 24 kilometers and comprising more than 20 bridges, including a 700-meter bridge over the Warri River, connects Ubeji to Ode-Shekiri, the traditional headquarters of the Ishekiri people, with spurs to surrounding communities like Ijala, Ugbodede, and Usele. 17 years and 3 administrations later, the project remains incomplete, leaving the local people awaiting for its eventual completion and intended benefits. Last week, during a visit to the project site to assess the progress of work, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori promised to ensure funding for the project and ensure its completion within the next 2 years. He also warned the project contractors and site engineers against delivering substandard work, while emphasizing the importance of quality project execution in the state.
We'll make sure that the jobs are quality done. Now we cannot say you have done a good job. You are trying. By the time you finish your job, I will come to inspect, and everybody can say you are satisfied for commissioning. Then we can give you the kudos that you have done very well. We serve as warning to all site engineers who compromise, because some of them compromise. I will not take that when they compromise. The one that compromise will face the wrath of the law. Yeah.
The Olu of Warri, Ogiami Atuwashedi III, who accompanied Governor Oborevwori to the project site, expressed gratitude to the governor for his commitment to completion of the long overdue project.
We are grateful that it's here. That's all we'll say, and we'll just continue to encourage the contractors. And I know that as His Excellency makes the funding available, we will all be on their necks, on their heads. We'll be on them to make sure that this thing is finally completed.
In a related development, Governor Sheriff Oborewori also inspected the ongoing construction of Omadino Technical College. During the visit, the governor reaffirmed his commitment to providing quality educational infrastructure aimed at delivering top-notch education and vocational training for the youth of Delta states.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Standout Properties Limited presents a real estate opportunity of a lifetime. Bloom Towers, a waterfront twin high-rise buildings of 19 and 21 stories at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean in the prestigious Oniru area, Victoria Island, Lagos. Bloom Towers is a green and smart building project consisting of 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments and maisonettes, as well as 10,300 square meters available space for commercial and corporate use. Built for completion in 2027, Bloom Towers has 236 units available for sale with a starting price of 100 million naira. Lock down a unit today with a down payment of 20% and spread the balance over the next 24 months. Contact us on 080-693-47063 or 091-22-656-975.
It is a project that will bring huge return on investment.
Bloom Towers, from foundation to skyline.
Ezekiel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Ezekiel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
Join award-winning ace broadcaster MAMODE Felix AKUGHA on Inside the Niger Delta on the following radio stations weekly. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
As the Bayelsa State government continues to champion a citizen-inclusive governance approach, government representatives and stakeholders in the state have agreed to prioritize agriculture, aquaculture, and infrastructure development in the 2025 state budget. These priorities aim to boost food production and economic diversification, as well as connect isolated communities to urban centers. This was the outcome of the pre-budget interactive session last week in Yenagoa, where stakeholders actively contributed their insights on key government objectives for the upcoming fiscal year.
The Bayelsa state government continues to set a benchmark for transparency and people-centered governance in Nigeria, with initiatives like monthly transparency briefing. This platform offers detailed reports on the state's income and expenditures for each month, promoting accountability in a landscape where government spending is often cloaked in secrecy. Another commendable initiative in line with Bayelsa State's transparency drive is its annual pre-budget interactive session, where citizens are invited to contribute their views on what the government should prioritize in the upcoming fiscal year. Last week, the state held the 2024 edition in preparation for the 2025 budget. Governor Doyediri, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Nimi Bofa Ayawe, in his address, outlined the state's strategic focus for the next 4 years.
The budget we have been operating for some time is top to bottom, so your inputs in preparing next year's budget is going to be very essential. You know very well that our acronym now is ASSURED. Let me refresh you again with the acronym. ASSURED. A means agricultural revolution and blue economy. S, sports development, sports and youth development. The other S is peace and security. U is urban renewal and rural development. R is robust health care delivery. E is energy generation and economic growth. And D, diversifying education towards innovation and technology.
Discussions at the event focused on harnessing the state's vast potentials in agriculture, aquaculture, and marine resources. Participants also emphasized the need for the construction of critical roads to better connect isolated villages with urban centers.
The Ministry of Agriculture is planning very seriously to go into full-scale vegetable production by employing new technology. We traveled out to this country recently and came back, and we saw what greenhouse farming can do, particularly in places like our terrain where we are prone to flooding.
We also have plans to establish aquaculture villages as well as fisheries, Bayelsa State Fish City, first of its kind. And of course, with that, there will be so much job creation.
Chairman of the Bayelsa State Council of Traditional Rulers and Ibenanawe of Ekpetiama Kingdom, His Royal Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo Agada IV, harped on the community's responsibility in preserving public assets.
Most times we have shown the wrong attitude. You roof a school, someone goes to remove the roofing sheets. You equip a school, someone takes the chairs home. If we go on this way, we are not going to get the outcome that we are envisaging.
Inside the Niger Delta.
In a world increasingly shaped by cultural imperialism and other forces of modernization, the Arochukwu Kingdom in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State continues to stand as a stronghold of Igbo culture and tradition. The highly revered Igbo Kingdom, founded around the 16th century, has a blend of Ekoi and Ibibio influences of present-day Cross River and Akwa Ibom State. Arochukwu Kingdom, in all its glory, till date, continues to present a rich and unique cultural heritage that will not succumb to modern pressures.
While a typical African and perhaps a Nigerian can easily be identified by their traditional attire and other cultural features that beautifully distinguish him or her, the forces of civilization and globalization are gradually leading many so-called elites to lose touch with the uniqueness of their ancestry. However, for some kingdoms and their people, losing their culture is like losing their very souls. One of these keepers of culture and tradition in the Niger Delta region is the ancient and respected Arochukwu Kingdom in Arochukwu local government area in Abia State. The Arochukwu Kingdom, founded around the 16th century, not only preserves the rich heritage of the Igbo people, but also exemplifies the harmonious coexistence of Ekoi and Ibibio influences of Cross River and Akwa Ibom states that form the unique cultural tapestry that continues to thrive despite the pressures of modernity and globalization. The kingdom, often referred to as the cradle of Igbo history, culture and tradition, is made up of 19 communities and hundreds of satellite settlements that have grown to become thriving towns.
Arochukwu is our ancient kingdom. I am a native of Amanku in Arochukwu before we migrate to Arondizog, Idata North, Imo State.
I am from Oran. Arochukwu migrated from Oran. I have seen some of our brothers using the race we call Okari, which we take it as important in our area. So to say it very shortly, this is the reason I am very, very happy. May God place the people of Arochukwu and Oran Yangateakbo in Jesus' name.
The Umwaro, as the people are fondly called, live their rich cultural heritage daily, both at home in Arochukwu and in their communities abroad. They also use special occasions and festivals like the Ikejiaro Festival every September to fully bring their traditions to life while connecting deeply with their ancestors. Recently, they celebrated the coronation of their new king, His Eminence Dr. Berechukwu Kanoji. Guests from all over the country joined in and got first-hand experience of the vibrant culture that makes Arochukwu so unique. We spoke to some illustrious sons and daughters of Arochukwu about what their culture and traditions mean to them.
Arochukwu is like no other place on earth. And we Aro are very proud of our kingdom. In the whole Southeast, this is the only kingdom that still exists. It's not army or police that is guiding us, but you can't come here and perpetrate evil and go free. We don't know how it happened. But in each year, we hold the person accountable because this is Arochukwu. And this is the beginning and the end of Igbo land and the cradle of Igbo civilization. Ezaro is supreme. Ezaro is our leader. Leader of the Aro at home, leader of the Aro in the diaspora.
Arochukwu, Aro of God. Umuchukwu, our ancestors were great people. And the entire Igbo race and beyond looked up to Arochukwu for direction. And wherever there was a dispute, they brought it to Chukwu in Arochukwu for the settlement of that dispute. So there's nowhere you will go to in those days that you didn't have people coming to Arochukwu. Arochukwu was like going to America now.
Meanwhile, the entire Arochukwu kingdom is already in a celebratory mood as this year's Ikejiaro, the popular New Yam Festival, is already in full swing. The grand finale, which is scheduled to take place on the 23rd of September 2024, is expected to draw participants and spectators from across Abia and neighboring states, offering a mesmerizing display of the rich culture and traditions of the Arochukwu people.
Inside the Niger Delta.
And with that report, we'll wrap up the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Niger's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles shown right now on your screens. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.